Is it time for a new project?
Because I think it's time for a new project.
These two are not going to cut it. Why aren't you insulating? Where's the insulation?
But wait, isn't it also maple syrup season? Does that mean there's two projects at once? This is Simple Living with Beata. For the last year, I've been developing our dream home and homestead from scratch. Spring is on its way, which means we're gonna be getting to our home build very soon. But there's a few things I need to get done first. I'm trying to become as self-sufficient as possible, which means I'm taking on new tasks like excavating, plumbing, chainsawing, wiring, and more. And this also means growing our own food and making our own maple syrup. So, woo, that's bright. I am off to Tim Hortons to get some free buckets because today my daughter and I are gonna tap some maple trees. So this commences project number 1. Last year was here, so I think we gotta go above it.
Oh yeah, I think there's some.
Oh, there is some. It's full one right here. I'm really thankful my daughter and I came out this past fall and marked all of our trees out because it makes it so much easier when you can't really tell the difference between each maple. I am getting better at it. The sugar maples have more of like a finer groove in the bark, whereas the red maples have more of a big flake in their bark. And the red maples have half the amount of sugar content than the sugar maples. So it's okay to tap red maples. They're gonna give you the same product, but it's gonna take you double the amount of time to boil it down, which is why I'm just tapping sugar maples this season. 3 years ago in March 2020, after COVID hit, we were stuck at home and we decided to tap the 4 maple trees surrounding us. And that was our first year of doing maple syrup, and we've done it every year since. There's so many sugar maples over here that we flagged. I think one day we're gonna build a sugar shack back here because this is definitely the section where we have the most maples. It's pretty crazy that 5 years ago, I started my first garden bed because I wanted to become more self-sufficient. And that led me into wanting to make maple syrup, which led me into wanting to have a massive homestead, which leads us here. What is this, like day number 3 of tapping trees? And I have 17 more buckets, and I got them for free, which is really exciting. 3 years ago, if I said I had 17 buckets, I would have been so overwhelmed. So I think it's really important to just take tiny steps when starting a homestead. You can always make it bigger and better and add more things onto it as the years go by and as you get more experienced. I think I'm on my 20th tree, and for the first time ever, when I was hammering the spile into the tree, the plastic spile broke. I don't know how I'm gonna get this out of the tree now. It's like stuck in there. I got it. Well, I'm done. I did 29 trees. And maple syrup is quite the extensive process. You need 40 liters of sap to make 1 liter of maple syrup. So in the coming weeks, I'll be sharing the maple syrup process, but for now, we're starting another new project. This past fall and winter, I built this shed. And there's some shelving units in this shed that just aren't cutting it. Look at all of this wasted space. So we're gonna be storing more than just tools in here. We're gonna be storing seasonal items from our home. And I built this shed so tall so that we could store more items here. And don't worry, I read all of your comments. Why aren't you insulating? Where's the insulation? And I didn't insulate because I was being cheap. So before I get to building the shelving units, I have to insulate this wall. This is gonna suck. Never insulated anything in my life, but I've heard the rock wool is easier than the pink stuff. And it's fireproof, and mice don't like to eat it, which is great. It's going relatively well. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to do the rest. I'm on my second bag, but I decided to literally do this yesterday, and an X-Acto knife does not work well, and I'm looking on YouTube and it's saying like a bread knife would do really well. So definitely don't do what I'm doing because it's just tearing stuff up. really getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
I'm probably just gonna have to buy another bag. All the insulation is in, and I'm gonna start the vapor barrier. I do have a bit more insulation that I'm gonna do, I think, along this wall later, but I need to move stuff around. And in order to move stuff around, I'm just gonna start on the vapor barrier. Now to find the vapor barrier. I don't know where I put it. Nope. Sneaky little guy. Okay, so it's 2 feet wide, so it's 8 feet tall. So that goes sideways. Anyways, I'll figure it out. All right, first layer up, and I have to do the top layer there. It has to overlap by 6 inches, and then they all have to be taped. I need a bigger ladder, so I'm whipping out this one, even though it is a struggle to get it to fold. Here we go. I'm almost done. I just have to tape up this seam here, and then I'm gonna move some stuff around and get some more insulation up. All right, half of the shed is insulated. Next week, I'm gonna build the shelves and do the whole shelving unit, but now I need to go collect some maple sap. It's 4 degrees, it's sunny, and it's beautiful out. I just wanted to take a little bit of a break and say happy International Women's Day to all of the incredible ladies out there watching my videos. It's a really incredible feeling to be able to have a space online, to be able to share the fun things that I've been up to and that I've been learning.
Wow, that's tons. One of my biggest goals with this channel is to show people that you can do anything you put your mind to. It doesn't matter your gender. The biggest thing that comes into play is your mindset. So keep on believing in yourself, and even though it's a few days late, happy International Women's Day.
First full bucket. Wow. This is crazy. It's only 3 degrees, maybe 4.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week while I started the maple syrup process and partially insulated the shed. And if you haven't yet, be sure to click the like and subscribe button. It's a huge help for me and my family.
Join me next week. We're going to get started on building shelving units for ultimate shed storage. And with that, I will see you next week.